Few months ago, my child asked a very strange question. He said, "Who can eat shark in the sea?" I know it's a very silly question, and I did what most parents would do. I looked up at ChatGPT, found the answer, and told my son. That was it. End of conversation. But later I realized that it was one of the biggest mistakes that I did and a lot of parents are doing with their kids. Hi, I'm Sayed Bilal. I believe that every child should grow up to be self-driven, independent kid who knows how to handle challenges and adapt to the uncertain future. My mission is to help parents raise such kids. So my son asked me, who can eat shark in the sea? I gave him the answer, but I realized later that I missed the biggest opportunity as the conversation was over as soon as I gave the answer. Most of the parents would do that. The child has a question and you will either answer yourself or you will take help from ChatGPT or Google and find the answer, give it to the kid. But think about it. What could happen if you had not answered, if I had not answered that question? Maybe if I don't answer the question, his question would open up the conversation. More and more questions would flow. Like, why would something eat a shark? It has to be something bigger who can eat shark. Are the sharks predators? Do they hunt the humans? Are all the sharks even same? Do they eat themselves but different kind? And the best part is you don't need to know any of the answers. You just have to explore the topic with them. And this is where I challenge the parents. When the kids ask a question, they think that they are curious, they are exploring the subject, and the parent provides the answer. But are they really curious? The questions the children ask are silly. They are scientifically messy. Sometimes they're impossible, but they are fantastic because the kid is not just asking questions, they're trying to make sense of how the world works. They're playing with the ideas, they are testing the possibilities. The problem is when we answer immediately, we are teaching the children that finding the answer is the best way to go. And curiosity just is not an invitation to think. And I'm not blaming ChatGPT here because it can be helpful in finding some of the facts and information. And it can also be helpful in knowing how to explore the topic, how to be actually curious. And remember that this is good for the child as well. If your child knows what to explore, how to explore, which tool to use to explore, then we can say that child is a curious child. Now, I want to challenge parents that if your child asks a question, don't just give the answer. In fact, explore the topic by being curious and ask question instead. Let's say the child says, "Why is sky is blue?" Tell, "Why do you think so?" Or better, let's explore this together. Because this is where the actual exploration and curiosity begins. Let them ask ridiculous questions, let them ask silly questions, but let them explore the idea and let them understand how the world works. Now, back to the story. If my child asked today the same question, I would not answer him. In fact, I would say, let's explore it together. Or I would ask him a question that would spark curiosity. Let them understand that finding the actual answer is not the destination, but actually being curious and exploring the subject is. Because one day you'll not be there to answer the question for your child. The question is what they will do then. Subscribe below, join the movement, and let's raise the next generation different.